I fly planes. I'm a pilot, have for almost 24 years. I'm the guy that everybody wants to find and ask. And then when I tell you the truth, he looks at me and goes, Mookie, you fly this plane like the earth is round and you will crash and die. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
No, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. That's the good thing about it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Everything is flat. Everything is horizon. Everything is above level. Everything. You just can't fly an airplane on a globe model, period, end of story. Their documents to keep their pilot safe, they have to say it's flat and non-rotating because that's the truth. I do these lives. People always ask me, we'll have confrontation once I tell them the truth, because they'll ask me and I say, guys, this isn't tooting my horn or anything, but I fly planes. I'm a pilot, have for almost 24 years. I'm the guy that everybody wants to find and ask. And then when I tell you the truth, based on what I see, what I have seen, how it works as far as flying a plane, there's always one or two people that get pissed off when I tell them the truth. The guy you were looking for, you found me. I accepted, go ahead and ask me. I tell you the truth. I don't guess on anything, but I just tell you the truth, and people get pissed. Good buddy of mine the other day, he's like, I was in the military, and I said, I don't have any military training. Private, that's it, just me. And he's like, well, then you know what an M6, what did he call it? An M6 flight calculator.
Okay.
I said, I have no idea what that is. And he's like, well, I'm calling BS then. I said, that I'm a pilot or that I know how to fly or what? I've never heard of that. Literally 24 years. I don't know what that is. And I reached down and
Did you have to Google it?
No. And I just reached down into I said, hang on here. Let me reach down in my Jefferson for a second. I said, are you talking about this? I said, this is called a flight computer. You see how flat this is? And I don't know what M6 means. He goes, it's the model number. It should be on the back. I said, there's no model number on. And that's what you're grasping on to me, is that I didn't know who made this when you called it the wrong name. That's all he had. I said, buddy, you're reaching for stars.
What does it do?
Well, I don't know. It's been in my bag for about 20 years, to be honest. You just spin it and you can, calculate your speed based on altitude and wind and all that, and it just does it for you on a little round scale. It's like a compass, really. And I think I used it the first 3 days in flight school. That's one of the things, my first day, I think I told you guys on the phone, it was one of the funniest things ever on my introductory flight, a million years ago, where he's teaching me this, that, we're flying along, and, my controls, your controls, I'm like, cool. And he's changing, where our heading is going and stuff like that. And I'm watching, I'm like, hey, how come we don't just put a big globe, on the dashboard here? And I'm being funny, it's just being a smart aleck. And he looks at me and goes, Mookie, you fly this plane like the earth is round and you will crash and die. And I'm like, well, I don't want to die. And he's like, listen, let me tell you something. And that was 20, like I said, 24 years ago, but it stuck in my head, and then everything they gave me was flat, everything when you set your altimeter before you even taxi down the runway, how far above sea level are you? 3 fingers from the dash to the nose and the horizon, straight across. Everything is flat. Everything is horizon. Everything is above level. Everything. You just can't fly an airplane on a globe model, period, end of story.
How would you even make that work?
You know what they'll do me? Every few days I get a DM on TikTok that, hey, I got to apologize to you. I'm on board. I'm officially a flat earther. I'll get a message or two every week from someone.
That's awesome.
So I was getting so heated on the last line. I told you about that. Said, well, what about this flight calculator thing? And he started to go all into it. I'm always, for the most part, pretty calm, but I get heated at times. I asked him, I said, hold on, you told me that you took some flight lessons back in the day. Okay, so this is 101. It's not a trick question. I'm just asking you, what do you pitch for in an airplane? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you pitch, you push the yoke in, the steering wheel, the column, whatever you want to call it, you pitch forward. He goes, I don't know what you mean. I said, okay, that's okay. You pitch for speed. That's, if you have any kind of trouble up in the air, engine trouble, you pitch the nose down so you can pick up speed. So, God willing, you can pick up some speed and stay in the air. Okay, that's just a 101 thing. If I'm flying along, eventually I'm going to come to a curve of the earth, correct? And he's like, well, yeah, of course, because it's round. He's being smart. I'm like, so if I'm constantly compensating and pitching the nose of my aircraft down because I'm pitching for speed, but I'm also pitching for the curve of the earth, and I got all heated and I said, eventually I'm going to be going 9,000 miles an hour because I'm constantly pitching. And he just sat there for like a full minute and he goes, yeah, I got nothing. Come on, So I get frustrated at times too, and I do get heated, so.
I thrive on confrontation.
So do I.
I like bring it on, especially grounded in the truth. If we have that on our side, there's really nothing else we need.
I was the kid that always explained something, and well, why? Well, why? I would literally mark answers. I was a smart kid, thank God. Get good grades, or you don't play football, you don't play basketball, you don't play baseball. So I always did in school, but I would tank a test on certain questions if I, in my head or in my heart, knew that this answer isn't right. Nope, it's not A, it's B. So I just was always the guy that was asking questions, and I never believed in space, even as a kid.
Right.
It's heaven. You can't, if that's above there is heaven, there isn't any space.
Yeah, there is no there.
No, there's no there. I was so adamant about it.
I loved all the movies. I always knew everything was a lie. It became more clear that everything is a lie. And then even to this day of 2024, kind of find out that everything's a lie. There is nothing in this system that is the truth. I mean, you go down the list from Helen Keller. Yeah, but I just remember as a small kid, they'd have stuff on our dining room table, and I just knew that the earth was stationary. It was never really prevalent to me to start evangelizing about it until this recent movement, and then it really took off 2014, 2015. A lot of people are starting to wake up to it.
I had people out of the blue, they'll call, what are you doing? Nothing. I owe you an apology. And if you ever say this out loud, I'll deny that I admitted it or whatever. Oh my God, that's right. I do remember telling you that. I can't jump on a bandwagon. And that's one of the things that have been so frustrating, but so good with TikTok, because it's such an informational highway. And once they post it, it reaches millions. Now you go down these rabbit holes, and there's plenty more people than just me and you, saying, oh my God, I've been saying that forever.
Right, yeah, I know, yeah.
But you now get to meet these people. Like we've met, like-minded people. If I'm doing a live, maybe one or two people every couple weeks that I've known through TikTok, they'll come, what are you talking about? Oh, Mook, you're a flat earther, So I don't see them as much anymore on TikTok, but that's okay. When I listen to a lot of these people with their globe explanation, and it's always an E equals MC squared, and then you have to do the Rubik's Cube, and you got to stand, there's always some stupid equation. Right. Not that difficult.
No, it's not. Our Creator did not make it that difficult for us to understand.
Have you seen the NASA document where they say flight patterns have been based on a flat, non-rotating Earth?
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't get into E equals MC squared or any kind of Star Trek shit. It just says they're all based on a flat, non-rotating Earth.
I've been trying to figure out what the disconnect is for many years, something more fundamental about the disconnect. Because when you have documentable, provable things that you can illustrate, I guess the whole thing is, why are they defending a system that doesn't do anything for them, number one? It's the Matrix. Why are they're so ingrained in this control system that they'll defend it, and they don't even know why they're defending it.
People get so offended immediately, instinctively, without clearly thinking about something. Once you bring something up, you don't have to give these people graphs and charts and, well, let me talk to you on a full moon or if the stars are over here. The simplicity of it is, I think, mind-boggling for people, and they can't accept it. Because I think we've been thrown so much shit. Nobody knows what to believe anymore. Because the minute you bring something up that's so simple like that, I don't want to think anymore.
We're all born with that innate ability to want to know what's happening, the truth. Lives get busy and we get so much stuff coming at us from all directions that people just tune out.
Don't you get a lot of people that claim, I don't care anymore. I don't care. Why does it matter? How many people ask me that? And I always go back to, well, it matters because the reason that they tell us it's round and a globe is because they want to take away our creator, Yahuwah. That's why. So it is important to me. That's my main reason. I'm not letting them deny my creator.
Exactly. What matters is the lie behind it, and then why the lie, and then that will lead you to the real shape of our earth. You understand why are they lying? And that is to hide Yahuwah, to hide the Creator. This is the oldest story in the book. Good versus evil. That's what this whole thing's about. Simple as that. The flat earth knowledge opens up everything. You don't fall for any other BS anymore. Once you realize, are you lying to me now or are you lying to me then?
Jimmy, you said it perfect. Once you realize the lie, then you go to why are they lying and the reason for the lie. That opens up a lot of doors. And like I said, I just think a lot of people, they can't take it for whatever reason. I refuse not to be strong enough, because for me, it does have to do with Yahuwah and Yeshua, and he is my Lord and Savior. And that's what we are fighting against. And it says in the Bible, you will not fight against flesh and blood, but the principalities of evil. Yeah. And that's what this is about.
Ephesians 6.
This is pure evil. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
No, exactly. Yeah. That's the good thing about it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yahuwah didn't make it that difficult. I've had people say, how do you know what to do and right and wrong? And I just pick up and I go, he gave you, right here, it's in his manual. He told us what to do, and he's never been wrong.
Right.
So it really is that simple because he made it that simple for us.
Exactly. He made it that simple. The problem, I think, with most people, I guess, is that we do have egos. I've been working on myself for, what am I, 55? I've been working on myself for about 55 years.
One of the funny things, Jim, I think everybody is so programmed to fight. Go into somebody's live, no matter what the topic is, somebody somewhere's looking to fight and nobody's willing to concede. It always seems to go to the flat earth, and no matter how far they want to go, I'll bring them back because my main thing is, and I always ask them, do you believe in God? Do you believe in Yahuwah and Jesus Christ of Nazareth? And read the Bible. Yeah, man, I started flying about 24 years ago, and I'm just private, no military training, no airlines, just for myself. I was telling Jim, I said, on my very first introductory flight, when I was in flight school, my instructor, and he was just very low-key. Me being me, I'm a smart aleck. Just being funny, I said, why don't we put just a little spinning globe on the dashboard, And he just looks at me and goes, Mookie, you fly this aircraft like the world is round, and you will crash and die. And he was as serious as a heart attack. He just went into it as serious as a heart attack.
Atheist since I was 5 years old. Never believed in anything. I thought it was all hokum and BS. And I met Jim, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was. Devout Christian, blah, blah. And he started talking, about 2-3 years after we met about flat earth. And what was my response?
You're like laughing. Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
You're nuts. There's no way on this globe that this thing is flat. I'll never forget Baker Street. We're sitting in the bar when you first walk in, and I'm looking at you like, you're smart. I've met you. I've known you for years now, and you're pretty smart, but you're an idiot.
Yeah, right.
So, anyway...
I've gotten that quite a bit. Don't feel bad.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Until about 5 years ago, I found out Satan was real. Not by any personal experience, but, like what I was talking to Jim, and he was like, it doesn't matter if you believe in Satan. They do. They believe in Satan. And I'm watching all this stuff and reading all these conspiracies, and I'm like, Satan's real. And if Satan's real, there has to be God. And then so it's been, like I said, about 5 years. And then when I got married to my wife, she's a believer, and the whole time I'm an atheist, and we've been together. It'll be 11 years this next month that we've been together. And the whole time I'm trying to convince her there's no such thing as God. And the whole time she's going, okay. Didn't try to argue with me. Didn't do anything like that. And she was just like, you'll see. And that's all she ever said. You believe what you believe. When we got married, I, confessed my love to her under God, Yahuwah. I never thought the power of prayer was real. It's absolutely real. He is listening to us, and he's not an absent father. He's there every day with us. And most people say, well, he works in mysterious ways. No, he does not. There's a reason why they are pushing it this round heliocentric, all for they.
A good buddy of mine that I've met on TikTok, and we do lives together all the time. He can quote scripture, very biblically educated, let's just say. And I could not get him on board with is the flat earth. And I tell him, I said, buddy, as committed as you are to knowing scripture and verses and where it comes from and all that, how do you not know that in the Bible it says that it is stable, non-moving, and set on its foundation? And wouldn't you want to know the truth no matter what? First thing he says, he's like, okay, why would, he goes, I know they lie about everything. He goes, but why would they lie about that? And I said, because they don't want us to believe in our creator. They don't want us to know Yahuwah. And he just stopped in his tracks and he's like, of all the things I've heard about flat earth, now you got me thinking.
They want us to not know that we are divine creations. We are created by Yahuwah. He created us in his own image, and we're not infinitesimal, small little
amoebas that came from sludge,
spinning, rotating, flying through this space where, every day we can go out there and look at Polaris, and it's still right above the North Pole where heaven is.
I told my buddy too, guys, I said, doesn't it say in the Bible, thou shalt not change the word of God?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. And I said, so why are you preaching it and changing it?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people in trouble that did that. Galactic and space and God.
Just read Genesis. Yeah, Genesis 1:6 starts where with the firmament.
Yeah, you can't get more than 200 words in.
1:1 to 1:30. All it does is talk about creation. And then it talks about he created night and day on like day 2. Then he created on day 4 or 5 the sun and the moon. He never even talks about planets. I was saved before I found flat Earth, and then you told me about it again. I was laughed, but then that's where I found God. Then I found flat Earth because I found the Bible, and it kind of went in that order. And then I was like, that was right. He was right.
Like we all understand, it's not my message. It's our Creator's message, So we're just out here trying to spread the word.
When he's 55 years old, this is all he's known. Believes in Yahuwah. It's the flat Earth, and we get so heated. And we'll always love each other. It's not like we're never going to stop being friends. And I said, how can you be this smart and be an engineer and not know about flat Earth? And he goes, how can you technically be a rocket scientist? Are you a pilot? You're a rocket scientist and you're this dumb.
Right. We're all flat earthers, right? But some of us just don't know it yet.
I've been telling him this for about the last 6 months now. The Earth is flat. And he just went, he is so anti. He believes NASA. He believes all this stuff. And it's funny because he will call me at 1 o'clock in the morning and go, okay, how can it be flat? And starts going off. And I'm like,
what, man?
Bible.
Once you hear it, you can't unhear it.
He'll come at me and out of nowhere just send me some videos, and I'll respond to him little nuggets of information about flat Earth and, NASA. We are being controlled. You can watch a movie, any movie from the 1950s on, there's always a globe in that movie.
Always.
Always. There's a globe somewhere. There's always, and it's funny, I didn't realize this about 6 months ago, but any movie you watch, any show you watch, they talk about the globe or the world or the planet because they're spreading that agenda, and they want us to believe it. The first thing we do when we were kids, we have a mobile above our thing. We have
the crib.
I remember that.
Planets on.
Like going to the moon. I'm like, how can you believe that we went to the moon? Number one. And I said, what about the video? And he's on a landline phone talking to them on the moon going, I'm on a landline phone. I lose service if I go into my garage on a landline in the oval. And I said, does anybody not want to talk about the 8x10 on the wall behind Nixon of the Earth? A picture taken from the freaking moon when they just got there 7 minutes ago.
It's like Spaceballs. It's like the movie Spaceballs. The movie's already out before the movie's even been out. It's Spaceballs. That's it right there.
Yeah. No, but, hey, do you see the face?
I love it. Yes. That's hilarious. There's always a couple people that can't accept it. I'm not looking to win because I read the Bible, I believe in Yahuwah, and I know in the end, we already win.
Don't waste any more time. Visit the links above now and order my book, 16 Emergency Landings Proving Flat Earth. Visit my online store now and order the new enhanced Gleason's Flat Earth map. This map used to be in every school and library in the nation before NASA was created in 1958, when the maps were ordered removed. Have your Gleason's map hanging on the wall in your house where no government can take it down. Here you see it hanging on a wall in the house of the late Charles K. Johnson. Here is a quote from the book 1984 by George Orwell. Every record has been destroyed or falsified, every book rewritten, every picture has been repainted, every statue and street building has been renamed, every date has been altered, and the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Order your map now.